Hej og velkommen til endnu en chili-smagning. Jeg er taget op for at besøge dig, jøden.
Yes.
Søde fandemand, du ser så tænksom ud. Hvad sidder du og tænker på?
Jeg sidder bare og tænker på, at det er sgu da egentlig ærgerligt, at vi ikke har nogen af de her sådan, så farlige epidemier herhjemme mere, ikke? Ligesom dem, de har nede i Afrika og Asien og hvad det hedder alt sammen.
Nå ja, det skulle da egentlig meget godt set, ikke? Man kunne godt trænge til en lille udrensning rundt omkring, ikke? Sydhavnen, Nordvest og Lolland Falster, hvad fanden der. Alt sammen hedder det ulækkert, ikke?
Ja, altså
ikke?
lige få ryddet det værste skravl af vejen, ikke?
Ja, ikke? Det kunne være lækkert, ikke?
Nej, hvad er det, Sjøfrit?
Jeg tror sgu, jeg har fået en epidemi.
Hvad?
Nej, jeg laver skam.
Nej, for helvede.
Nej, der fik jeg det. Jeg skal sgu ikke udrenses nogen steder.
Nej, for helvede. Det lader vi de fattige om, ikke?
Ja, skål for udrensning, ikke?
Skål, min dejlige ven, ikke?
Du sød.
Ja, du er sgu så brun i dag.
Er jeg meget brun i dag?
Ja, det er du altså.
Nej, nu er du sgu sødere.
Du er sødere end mig.
Og jeg er skidefuld.
Det var da dejligt. Så kan man ikke rigtig mærke noget.
Sådan skal det være, ikke?
Skål, min ven.
Dejlige ven.
I knew about the AIDS 3 years before the word ever came out in the world, in the United States particularly, because of my field work in Sierra Leone.
You mentioned actively spreading AIDS, and how was that done exactly?
Through inoculation.
Through vaccines?
Yeah, through vaccines. Pretending to inoculate people and...
AIDS was actively being spread to other countries?
Yes.
The World Health Organization started a massive vaccination campaign. They chose Africa and Brazil, launched a massive vaccination campaign. Immediately, AIDS began to appear. Thousands and thousands of people began dying of the strange new virus, which the World Health Organization then said had come from the bite of a green monkey. They took
In 1915, a joint eugenics venture was brokered by John D. Rockefeller, Andrew Carnegie, Alexander Graham Bell, who invented the telephone, and Mrs. E.H. Harriman, mother of the future statesman Averell Harriman. They had already consolidated their monopolies in oil, railway, steel, and the banking industries. So at this point, they sought to preserve their vast wealth and advance their interests by investing in methods to control and reduce populations. The goal of eugenics was and is to eliminate people whom the elite deemed inferior genetic material. They funded a massive lobbying campaign for the enactment of laws to sterilize those whom they deemed unfit. Sterilization laws were first enacted in 28 states in the United States. Their objective was to sterilize 10% of the American population, that was 15 million Americans. An examination of the facts reveals a plethora of similarities between that false narrative of the pandemic in 1918 and the 2020 coronavirus pandemic. The 1918 pandemic did not emanate from Spain. It was not a flu, nor was it caused by a virus. By misidentifying it as influenza from Spain helped to conceal the true nature and origin. In 1918, as the United States entered World War I, the military was expanded to 6 million men, of whom 2 million were sent to the battlefields of Europe. Scientists at the Rockefeller Institute for Medical Research, now the Rockefeller University, seized the opportunity to test an experimental vaccine on this now new available pool of human guinea pigs. Few people realize that disease killed far more soldiers on all sides than machine guns and mustard gas or anything else associated with World War I. we learned that by March 11th, the Fort Riley camp surgeon was confronted with the first wave of the pandemic. 100 men a day were entering the infirmary with the same malady. Some 2 million US soldiers were injected with the Rockefeller experimental vaccine. It sickened them and weakened their immune system before they were shipped to Europe. Now, when the war ended, the Rockefeller Institute sent the deadly meningitis concoction for use in civilians in England, France, Belgium, Italy, and other Western European countries, thereby spreading the epidemic worldwide. Was the decision to ship the deadly vaccine abroad once they already knew what it was doing? Was it just for profit über alles, or was it part of a eugenics genocide playbook?
Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus should have never been elected Director General of WHO. He should have been charged with crimes against the Ethiopian people.
And for all 193 member states, you must make vaccines a high priority in your health systems to ensure that all your children have access to existing vaccines now and to the new vaccines that have recently become available.
Regarding the question around, did we know about stop immunisation before it's entered the market? No.
When you Swedes and Danes hear the WHO is doing something, immediately say, you won't do it. It's bound to be bad, and bound to be wrong, and bound to be criminal. And if you follow them, you are following the steps of criminals.
Det er jo helt absurd og jo virkelig ringe, at vi i et fredeligt, demokratisk land som Danmark ikke kan respektere hinandens synspunkter.
Det er det, demokratiet kan. Det eneste våben, et demokrati har, er jo talen.
The war has reached a desperate point, and now any adult man is at risk of being taken to the front lines by force. More and more videos are going viral, showing Ukrainian soldiers patrolling the streets in search of recruits. It doesn't matter if it's an 18-year-old just coming of age or a retired elderly man. If you're old enough to fight, they can take you. Amid screams and tears, men are seen being dragged away from their families in broad daylight. Some were simply walking to work. Others shopping at the market. All were forcibly loaded into military vans, headed straight to the front lines, with death almost certain.
Siger, vi vil gerne leve i fred, men først og fremmest vil vi leve i frihed.
Jeg synes, det er forfærdeligt at se alle de unge ansigter på billederne på graven rundt omkring. Jeg synes, det er forfærdeligt at se soldater, hvor jeg kan se igennem deres bukseben, at der er en protese i stedet for et ben. Altså, russerne har bragt så meget lidelse og så meget nød og så meget død til Europa, og jeg er ked af at sige det, men det bekræfter os jo kun i, at de ikke vil have fred, og derfor bliver vi nødt til at være stærkere end Rusland for at skubbe dem tilbage.